Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's Shark Week, and who better to learn survival skills from than someone who's been through it himself?
One of the greatest safety precautions you can take is keep everything inside the kayak. Never dangle anything over the side. That's one of the most dangerous things you can do. But it's hot, so you decide, why not cool off a little bit? Over the foot goes, that just feels glorious.
Oh, we got a big tiger on the left right there, guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at it.
Lemon's up in there.
Oh. Whoa! They're starting to bump me now.
It's crazy to see how quickly, if one of them is interested, everybody becomes interested.
We welcome to AM Northwest shark attack survivor and shark conservationist Paul Gelder. Paul, great to speak with you. I have so many questions for you, but let's start by explaining to folks that you were attacked by a shark in 2009, lost part of your arm and your leg, and now you've become like the biggest advocate for sharks. So tell me about that process. You would think you would be in complete fear of sharks.
Well, I was before the shark attack, to the point that my dive teammates in the Navy used to put pictures of great whites on my locker and tease me and say, we saw that in the harbor the other day. And then I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. You did not. Maybe you did. I don't care. I'm not thinking about it. And so then, you know, I turn up to work one day and get attacked by a shark. And my teammates are like, what? Of all the people to get bitten. And so fortunately, you know, I realized that I chose a dangerous life. I rode a motorcycle, I jumped out of aircraft, I played with bombs and explosives, and you know, you can't choose a dangerous life and then get upset when something goes wrong. At least this way I got a cool story and a whole new career in life. So you know, there's nothing to complain about. We're not victims, we're survivors.
You were so afraid of sharks, you were very afraid of sharks at one point, and your other fear was public speaking. And now look at you.
I'm a shark diving public speaker. It's very strange dichotomy.
Yeah. What is it you wanted people to know about sharks that you have come to learn?
So many things. The main thing is they are not man-eating monsters. They are a very important part of nature. They're what we call a keystone species. And as an example, what that means is, you know the game Jenga?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how you remove too many of those blocks from the bottom, the whole thing comes tumbling down.
Sure.
That's what happens when you remove sharks from an ecosystem, because they keep everything under them in the natural order. Everything from the fish they eat, to the fish that those fish eat, to the fish that live on the coral reefs. If you take out those sharks, the whole ecosystem collapses. And so we need to look after sharks. Don't be afraid of seeing a shark in the ocean. Be afraid of not seeing sharks in the ocean.
Well, you give tips in one of your shows. You give tips on how to avoid a shark attack, and it's so explicit. It's just amazing. You put your artificial limb off the side of your kayak as a notice to say, do not dangle things off the side of your kayak, which I have now kept. I am paying attention to that. And then you actually recreate the scene, and an actual shark does come and take that limb off.
Yeah, well, like you said, it creates impact when it looks like it's realistic and you can see what actually happens. And look, we're not trying to demonize the sharks here or make them look bad or even train them to eat body parts. You know, you can't train your dog to sit, lay down and roll over by feeding it one treat, can you? And so we only do this like very minimal amount of times. And we really wanted to just show people not how to avoid a shark attack. This is more about how to survive a shark attack. We do show you tips and tricks along the way, things like not to wear jewelry, which glimmer and look like the scales of fish. Sharks want to investigate that thing. And also they like the electrical impulses of cameras. And so when we're doing the tiger shark dive where it rips off my prosthetic arm, it's not actually going for my arm. It's going for the electrical impulse of that 360 camera we have there. And many, many people have lost their cameras to those tiger sharks in that spot.
Wow, incredible. I know you, let me ask you this, because I was told, and I didn't know if it was an old wives' tale or what the story was. I am very, very white, extremely white, and I love being in the water. But I would have people tell me, don't go in the water, you're going to attract a shark because you're way too white to be out there attracting sharks. Is that a thing? It is a thing, isn't it? It is a thing.
It can be a thing.
Yes.
For example, I was in Fiji doing a dive with 60 Minutes, and one of the producers put sun cream all over his head, and it looked very white. And the bull sharks were dive bombing his head. And so it can be a thing. People have warned me not to wear white fins, but then I see people wearing white fins all the time, and the sharks aren't interested. So I would say, just for safety's sake, cover yourself up. You know, you don't have to go in the ocean around sharks with all your skin exposed. I would highly recommend against that. You want to go in wearing a wetsuit or a rash guard or something like that. But we live in the world of information now. You know, there's no reason to be ignorant about where you're going to enter in the water. Look it up, do some Googling before you get in there. See if there's sharks in the area. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Generally speaking, it's the ocean. That's where they live. They might turn up. But do everything that you can to stay safe.
Okay, let me ask you this. You love sharks under the water. Let's talk about what you love on land. And I'm going to say that it's your cute, cute, cute dog, cat, and beautiful wife.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's my rescue from Australia, Otis, our cat, Gooby. We've got another dog, Amina, and my lovely, beautiful wife, Rhiannon, who wished she could come to New York, but she had to work. She also introduced me to snowboarding, which is now one of my favorite things on the planet to do. I've got 2 snowboarding prosthetic legs.
Wow.
I have the best time ever out on the snow.
That is awesome. And she loves to do underwater stuff with you as well, right?
She does now. She was afraid. Her first birthday, I took her to Catalina Island and took her snorkeling, and she wanted to go back in because it was 10 foot deep and a little scary. Now she dives with sharks with me when I run tourist trips to the Bahamas, and she said it's the best thing she's ever done in her life. And so I hope that everyone else out there can have the same experience and find out that sharks really aren't the demons that the media portrays them as. They are very important. They have a special place in the ocean, and we should respect them.
You're right. We want to tell everyone Shark Week runs through Saturday on Discovery. Paul, thank you so much.
My pleasure, mate. Thanks for the chat.
You bet. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.